again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today we are going to be doing the star stitch. Very simple with only a 2-row repeat once you get it started. It is lovely. It's textured, it's nice and thick, perfect for this time of year, whether you're doing a scarf or a cowl, a wrap, a blanket would be perfect. And I think you guys are really going to like it. So for this particular swatch, I used, it was Red Heart Super Saver Ombre in one of their lovely blue colorways. I don't remember if this was True Blue or Baja Blue. I think this was True Blue, if I'm not mistaken. And I used my focus is funky, a 6mm size J crochet hook. You can, of course, use whatever works best for you. Ordinarily, with a worsted weight, a weight of 4 yarn, I would probably use a size I. However, this is a dense stitch. I wouldn't call it a yarn eater, but it is a dense stitch, so you want it to have some flexibility. So I decided to go up in a hook size. And for today's piece, I'm going to be using this lovely pink yarn. Also, it is a worsted weight of 4. I don't recall what this yarn specifically is. If it changes color further down the road, well, then it's an ombre. I don't know as of the moment. At any rate, without further ado, let's get started. Okie dokie. So, to begin with, your base chain. For your base chain, you're going to need an even number of chains. So I decided upon 20. And the reason why you need an even number of chains is because on the first row, we're going to be doing single crochets. And we need an odd number of single crochet stitches. So you need an even number of chain stitches. So for this swatch, yes, I'm going to be doing a total of 20 chains. Come up with, whichever even number you want to use. Personally, I always suggest make up a swatch first and figure out how many more chains you would need if you want to do a larger project. Also, it helps you get used to the stitch. So, make up your base chain and we'll get started. Okay, row 1. As I said, I've got 20 chains, so not into this first chain, but into the second chain from the hook, single crochet. It's really that simple for row 1. And this is to give you a foundation to work off of. Now, alternatively, if you're not a fan of doing this, what you could do is the foundation single crochet stitches, which means that you will not need to do a base chain first. And actually, I'm going to put a link to the video that I did on that. And if you do opt for that method, then you are going to want to do an odd number of foundation single crochet stitches. However, I find that for my intent and purpose, this is a little bit easier. I have done the foundation single crochet stitches before. Honestly, I see nothing wrong with this method. So that is what I opted to do. And we only have a couple more. And then we will get into the actual pattern for this stitch, which, like I said, it's only a 2-row repeat. So there you go. That's row 1 right off the bat. Right, row 2. This is where things are going to get interesting. So to start off with, start by chaining up 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, we're going to be picking up stitches almost as if we're doing Tunisian crochet, although you don't need a Tunisian crochet hook to do this. So we're just going to be pulling up loops, but not actually doing single crochet stitches. So into the second and the third chain, pick up a loop. And we already have one loop on our hook. So into the second chain, pick up a loop, into the third chain, pick up a loop, and turn your work, and into the next 3 single crochets. The first, second, and third, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pick up loops. So into that first single crochet stitch, go in there and pick up a loop, and then the next 2 stitches, pick up a loop, and pick up a loop. So you have a total of 6 loops on your hook at this point, and then pull through all 6. So pulling all through, take your time, and you can do it. All right, so we have all those loops. And then chain 1. Now that is the first half of the star. On the subsequent row, we're going to finish up the star. Right now, we're just creating the first half. So after chaining 1, we're going to pick up another 6 loops. This one does count. So we're going to go into the eye of the star that we just created. It's this little opening right there. So into that space there and pick up a loop. And then around this little bar right here, we're going to pick up another loop. And don't worry, I'm going to do this a bunch of times. It can be a little bit tight, but go into there and pick up another loop. So we've got 3 loops. We need 3 more. The next one is going to be where we picked up a loop previously when we picked up all 6. So it's where this loop is going into, right into there. So that's 4. We need 2 more. And that's going to be the next 2 single crochet stitches where we're going to pick up from. So insert, pull up a loop, and then into the next stitch, insert and pull up a loop. So we have 6 loops once again. So pull through all 6. There we go. And then chain 1. We're going to do the same thing. So into the center of the star, pull up a loop around this bar right here, pull up a loop into the base where we had gone into before, pull up a loop, and then into the next 2 single crochet stitches, pull up a loop. So we've got our 6 again. Then pull through all 6. Chain 1 into the center of the star, around that first bar. There we go. Into the base of that stitch. And then the next 2 single crochets. Now this does take some practice and some patience, but I have every bit of confidence in you. You can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. So then pull through all 6. There we go. Chain 1, pull up a loop through the center. And then underneath that first bar, into the base, and then the next 2 stitches. There. Pull through all 6. Chain 1, into the center of the star, pull up a loop, underneath that first bar, into the base, and then the next 2 single crochet stitches, pull up a loop. Okay, we got all 6. Pull through all 6 loops. chain 1, pull up a loop through the center, under that first bar, into the base, and the next 2 stitches. Pull through all 6 loops, chain 1, into the center, under the first bar, into the base, and the next 2 stitches. Okay, pull through all 6, chain 1, into the center, under that first bar, into the base, and then into these last 2 single crochet stitches. There we are. So we've got our last 6. Pull through all 6. Chain 1. And then to finish up this row, going to do a half double crochet into that last stitch that we just worked into. So yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull through all 3. There you go. And that is the end of our second row, which is the first half of our star stitch. It is gorgeous already, and next row we're going to complete it. Alrighty. Okay, row 3 is considerably easier, and it goes by a lot faster. So let me just pull out a little bit more yarn here. Okay, so row 3 is really just a lot of half double crochet stitches. You could use single crochet stitches. Personally, I think that half doubles look better. So start off by chaining up 1 and turn your work. And for this row, we're going to be working into the center of the star stitches, that loop there where they all are going into. And the first one is actually right over here. So it's this little space right here where all of those loops were picked up. So going to be doing 2 half doubles into the center of each of those stars. So you yarn over, go into the eye of the star, if you will, pull up a loop, and pull through all 3. And do it again. Yarn over into that same space, pull up a loop, pull through all 3. And that's going to complete the star stitch. And then to continue on down this row, it's just 2 half doubles in each eye of the star. So into that space, half double, and half double. Okay, the next eye, half double, and half double. Next eye, 2 half doubles, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. There we go. And then we have 1 more star to go. So one and 2. There we go. And then to finish up this row, into this last stitch right here, add 1 half double crochet at the very, very end here, right into that stitch. So just 1 half double to finish it up. And there you go. So then when you turn it over, this side looks okay. The other side, I think, looks fabulous. Personal opinion. And if you are going to be changing colors, my personal suggestion would be, like for instance, if you wanted to change colors, now would be the time to do so, because you want to have a completed star stitch, which is the 2 rows. So if you wanted to alternate your colors, do it every 2 rows, or, after 4 rows, that would be my personal recommend, if you don't mind sewing in ends. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that, so I'm just going with the solid color here. So how about we do a repeat together? I like being thorough and spending more time with you guys, so let's do that. Alrighty. Okay, so row 2 for the repeat. Start by chaining up 3. And we're going to start pulling up our loops into the 2nd and 3rd chain. So insert, pull up a loop, and then into that 3rd chain, pull up a loop. So we've got 3 loops. And then into the first 3 stitches, pull up a loop. There we go. So you always need to make sure that you have 6 loops on your hook before you pull through. There we are. Chain 1, and then pull up 5 more loops in the center of the star stitch, that eye, that first bar, the base, and then 2 more half double crochet stitches, excuse me. It used to be single, now they're half doubles. So we've got our 6 loops. Pull through all 6. Chain 1. Pull up a loop through the eye, under the first bar, through the base, and the next 2 stitches. Pull up those loops so that you have a total of 6. Pull through all 6. There we go. Chain 1. Pull up a loop through the eye, under the first bar, through the base, and the next 2 stitches. Okay. Pull through all 6 loops. Chain 1. Pull up a loop through the eye, under the first bar, into the base, and the next 2 stitches. So you got your 6, pull through all 6, chain 1, through the eye, under the first bar, into the base, and the next 2 stitches. Pull through all 6, chain 1, pull up through the eye, under the bar, through the base. I was going to say the foundation. Well, same thing. And then the next 2 stitches. Pull through all 6, chain 1, pull up through the eye, under the bar, through the base, and the next 2 stitches. Pull through all 6, chain 1, pull up through the eye, under the bar, into the base and the next 2 stitches. There we go. Then, to finish this up, pull through all 6, chain 1, and half double into the base of that last stitch right there. Half double. Ta-da! All right, so let's do row 3 together so we can complete our stars. Okay, so row 3 for the repeat. Chain up 1, turn the work, and into the center eye of each star, 2 half doubles. 1 and 2. Next eye. 1 and 2. Now, if you're finding that your eyes are not very easy to see, after you pull through all 6 loops and you chain 1, you might want to go a little bit loose so that your eye is a little bit more prominent to see. Should have said that before. Well, I'm saying it now. That might help you. So into the eye. 1 and 2. 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 1 more to go. 1 and 2. And then to finish up into the top of this last stitch right here, right into there, with a half double, just 1. That finishes it up very, very nicely. There. And then we can take a look at the right side. Oh, that's gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Hope you guys do too. Okay, my dears, so that's going to wrap it up for today's tutorial. As always, thank you so very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this tutorial, please give a little thumbs up button down below. You know that I appreciate your appreciation. And let me know, what are you going to do with this stitch? Are you going to make a blanket, a wrap, a scarf? What are you going to do with this stitch? What kind of colors? Very curious to know. Always like your input, your creative feedback, and all that stuff. Yeah. So, you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please, stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.